With ArcheAge being such an insanely massive game, there's so much going on and there's so much to learn. Now, I'm going to, in this video, bring you guys 10 tips and tricks that I have found while playing ArcheAge to just give yourselves a little bit extra knowledge and maybe even make the game a little bit easier on yourselves. So, this is not going to be a guide video, it's literally just going to be some tips and tricks, quality of life things, and things that you may not have known. Hopefully, you find them interesting, hopefully there's plenty that you didn't know. There will be more in the future, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss them out. If any of these help you out, let me know in the comment section, and if you have any that I don't know already, drop them down there, and if I put them in my next video, I'll make sure to mention you from the comments and give you a bit of credit. So, let's get into the first one. Just a quick mention, none of these tips are in a certain order, they're just as I've thought of them. So, number one is you can actually get extra bank storage for your house from the credit store or the diligence store. Now, this is called the Otherworld storage chest, and it is furniture for your house. What this does is it gives you 100 slots to store all types of items, and this can be put into your house and only you can access it. So, if you open your door and someone runs in, they can't get in it and take all of your stuff. You can get this from the credit store for 1,675 credits, or you can get it from the diligence store. So this is definitely something that I use a hell of a lot on my profile. I like to put anything in it that I need for my farms and things like that, and it just helps out from keeping your warehouse not so cluttered and your inventory. Number two is going to be using crafting requests for things that you can't make yet. So what I mean by this is putting in a crafting request for another player to make something for you that you don't have the proficiency to make. So for example, I wanted to upgrade my Dawn's Drop gear, but I didn't have the 10,000 leather proficiency to do so. So what I would do is get all the materials that I would need to upgrade it with, go to a community board, and then you can list it up there and wait, put a little bit of gold in for someone to do it. They have to have incentive to do it, and after a little bit of time, if you are successful, if you've offered enough gold basically, then you'll get the item that you've asked to be crafted for you, and that way you don't have to work hard to get the proficiency for it. Little bonus tip here, if you don't have much labour, but you do need something crafting, but you just don't have the labour to do it, but you don't want to wait as well, you can request items to be made. This way, other people are spending the labour on it, and you will only have to pay gold for it. Just saves you a little bit of labour if you are wanting something done. Have you ever been gliding around and you've just wanted to drop to get to your next quest, or you've seen someone that you wish you could drop on and just kill them? Well, you can. You can actually drop from any height whatsoever in this game, and you can literally stop taking all the fall damage no matter what height you're at. So, how to do this? Well, the only requirement is that you do have the Shadow Play skill set and the drop back ability. So, what this does is if you drop from no matter what height, whatever, you can drop down, and just before you hit the ground, if you use the Shadow Play ability drop back, then you'll be absolutely fine. Literally, I'll show you on screen. You drop down, all the way down to the ground, and as soon as you're about to hit drop back, and you're good to go. And this is going to be incredibly useful. If you have such high burst damage, you could drop down from the sky on somebody, kill them off, and get on your way. They wouldn't even know what hit them. If anyone wants to get a video clip of them doing this, and you can let me know in the comment section if you've got one, if you send it to me, I'll put you in my next video, just to sort of show you off. Number 4 in this video is going to be using a ping boost. Now, the reason being is ArcheAge is heavily reliant on your ping, and if you are on high ping, you're probably going to struggle to play as anyone who wants to do any DPS. Not only that, you're probably going to struggle to do any PvP whatsoever. But you don't have to miss out. If you use ExitLag, then you'll be able to boost your ping a hell of a lot, and you can do this completely free. Now, when I say you can do it completely free, that's because ExitLag will give you a 3-day free trial. So, hop into my link in the bottom of the description and make sure you click on that, follow it through, and sign up to your free 3-day trial and try it out. Honestly, ExitLag will help you in your DPS a hell of a lot, and it'll make your connectivity to the game so much better. There's literally no reason not to try out the free trial, and for you guys that do want to get this in the end, if you use code INIT, which is Init, at the checkout when you do make your purchase, you will get 20% off. So with that said, let's move on to number 5. The 5th tip on this list I have mentioned in a previous video, but to be honest, most of you guys that watch this will probably not have seen that video. However, number 5 is going to be finding stuff on the map really quickly. Now, all you need to do that is, when you are in the map, look on the right hand side where the key is, find what icon you are wanting to be looking for. So for example, a shop, a general merchant. If you just find that on the list, click it and just keep clicking on it until it's flashing on your map, and this will make it really easy for you to see, as the icon will be flashing for you. However, you may have noticed that a lot of stuff is all very clustered together, so another thing you can do is uncheck everything off of the map and then only click the thing that you are wanting to find. This way you can see exactly where it is and it's not going to be hidden under anything else. Number 6 is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys will probably know anyway, but I've seen so many people not knowing this and it proper confuses me, and people are really shocked when I tell them that they can do this. So what it's going to be is, you can actually access the auction house absolutely anywhere. Now, you don't need to be at an auctioneer, which is the Mirage Isles person, to actually list stuff on the auction house. If you want to list it in the middle of absolutely nowhere, in the middle of the ocean, you may have just want to list something randomly, you can do so. So if you just come down here to this icon that I'm showing you now, and once you click on this, you will get some other icons come up. One of these is the auction house. So if you click on that, it will literally bring up the auction house and you can use it exactly as you would if you were at the auctioneer. I've seen so many people going, oh, I can't list this, I need to run over to the auction person, or they just keep running over there while they're in like the community centre or something, and it proper confuses me. Obviously, if you tell them, they're sort of like, wow, no way. So I thought I'd share this one with you guys. Number 7 is something you guys may have noticed, but I only just recently noticed this myself. Well, it's something easy. If you're into farming and you love to plant your cedar trees or anything like that, and you have both of your farms there, but you don't have enough space, you wish you had a little bit more space, well, actually, as long as you have a house, there's a little bit of space around the outside of it that you can plant stuff in. You can put your trees around here, you can fit other crops, sort of like rice or anything that will fit in here, you can put it in here. And it's definitely space that you might as well use up, because as a couple of my viewers on my last video mentioned, if you're wasting space, it's just not good. So when filling up your farms, make sure you remember to put your trees or plants or anything around the outside of your house. Also, it does go for quite a nice decoration feature, to be honest. Number 8 is for all you labour nuts that like to be able to scrape out as much labour per day as possible so that you can make as much gold as you possibly can. So, if you have a bed in a house, which, to be honest, every house needs a bed, come on guys, then you can actually sleep in this bed and get extra labour back for doing so. However, in the vocation store, you can buy yourself some awesome pajamas, which if you equip when you go to sleep in the bed, then you'll get an increased 200 labour just for doing so. You can also do this in a community centre bed if you do not have one in your house, but it does cost Gilda, so I'll leave that down to you guys to decide whether that's worth it for you. It's not something that I've done yet, so I can't really give you pointers whether it's worth spending Gilda on getting a little bit of extra labour. I definitely wouldn't do it if you didn't have the pyjamas. But no Gilda requirement whatsoever if it's your own house. Number 9. If you are someone who wants to do fishing, but you don't have a fishing boat yet, and there's plenty of times in a server where you'll be sat there in the nation chat just typing over and over and over, looking for a fishing raid, or fishing raid plus plus plus, or anything, just asking, please get me in a fishing raid, and there's nobody doing it, or is there? Well, yeah, sometimes, especially now after the game's been going for quite a while, fishing raids aren't as popular as they were. Don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of fishing raids going on, but sometimes you won't be able to find some. So what you can do instead, if you don't have a fishing boat just yet, is go to one of the fish stands where they will come in once they have got their load completed, and as soon as they're there, you can either jump on the boat and hope they don't see you and despawn the boat or try and get you off, or just hope they're nice and give you a lift out. If they don't do that, and if they do despawn the boat and try and lose you, just try and get yourself a clipper and follow them out. They will lead you to the spot that you need, and this will mean that you can start doing some sports fishing and you don't have to spend ages just sailing around looking for a spot. However guys, if you can get in a raid, then it's definitely worth doing, especially if you don't have a fishing boat, because it will help you get towards the achievement to get your fishing boat design. So even if you can't get in a raid when you do this method, just ask them if they'll invite you to their raid or party, and that'll help you out. Sometimes people are just genuinely nice. It has been a long journey to the final tip of this video, which is going to be number 10. So if any of these has helped you out, just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel because I'll be bringing you more of these tips. Don't you worry about that. So anyway, number 10. There has been loads of people message me asking about how to sort out getting your stats on your gear and how to re-roll them. Now, a lot of people don't seem to realise that before you get to just before upgrading Hiram, you don't have to wait until this point to be able to start re-rolling stats. As soon as you start putting synthesis materials into your equipment, your adventurer's gear, you can actually roll your stats on that gear as soon as you get those roll attempts available. Now, as you put in the synthesis materials into the gear, you will see where it says roll attempts or change attempts, and this will go up +1, +2, however many it is going to give you. Before you awaken each time with the quest awaken scrolls that they do give you, make sure that you have spent those 5 rolls, otherwise you'll be wasting them technically. What you want to do is synthesize the equipment, use your 5 rolls, find the stats that you need. If you don't get them, just pick something that was nice, and by all means, then awaken them and carry on doing this. By this point, by the time you've got your Hiram gear, you'll probably have the 2 stats on each piece of equipment, if you are lucky enough anyway, and this is going to save you a lot of hassle from having to buy those Everstones and stuff and having to break your gear down and spending a lot of gold and getting back up. So do this, make sure you save yourself a lot of headache in the long run. However, this doesn't mean that if you don't get the 2 stats that you are happy with before you upgrade to Hiram gear, make sure you do break down your gear and get all the materials back and get the stats that you did want. It will be a lot cheaper to get these before you get into the Hiram gear. Also, when you get to Hiram gear, you do have a 3rd stat that you want to spend all of the roll attempts on, probably just to make sure you get the right stat. That is the final tip for this video, guys. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end, and I do hope that there was plenty in there that you didn't know, or just things that you found interesting. Let me know in the comments how many out of 10 that were completely new to you guys, or were of interest anyway. Also, if the video did help you out, please do like the video. It helps get it suggested to other people, and it'll help them out as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, as I mentioned a couple of times in this video. We are growing fairly quickly, and I'm just really loving the progression that this channel is getting from you guys. So, thank you all for that. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.